Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Ross, Professor of Systematic Theology at Erskine Theological Seminary. After the Westminster Assembly had produced its Confession of Faith, summarizing the whole work of God from creation to consummation, the divines had to consider how this doctrine would be brought to the people of the church. How would they learn this? How would it be communicated to them? In the 17th century, the writing of catechisms was a very common tool of the church, a question and answer method for instructing people in the basics of religion. The divines of Westminster began to consider how this was to be framed in a catechism, and many of the members of that assembly had already written catechisms of their own. They finally decided that they needed two catechisms, what they called the shorter and the larger. The shorter catechism was intended for the instruction of children from the very youngest of ages, when they could begin to read and comprehend. And then they would graduate into the larger catechism, intended for more mature Christians and disciples, even for ministers and the training of theological students as well. And so the larger and the shorter catechism were developed to communicate the foundational doctrines of the Holy Scriptures to build up the churches of England, Scotland, and Ireland. The shorter catechism would prove to be especially influential. In America, for example, portions of the shorter catechism were actually incorporated into the first textbook published in America, the New England Primer. The shorter catechism became part of the means by which the American churches were instructed in the fundamentals of religion. Even John Wesley, who had major disagreements with the Westminster Assembly in terms of its basic Calvinism, Wesley adopted the shorter catechism for his own use and churches. He eliminated 5 questions, he altered another 10, but he kept intact about 85% of the shorter catechism for use in Methodist churches as well. And through this catechism, the Westminster Assembly proved to be of enduring influence in the history of the modern church.